Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Insights. Today, we will learn about one of the most powerful and mysterious leaders in the world, Vladimir Putin. Many people know his name, but not many know his real story. Putin has led Russia for many years, and his actions have changed the world. Some people see him as a strong leader. Others think he is too strict and controls too much. In this video, we will discover his life, step by step. We will explore his childhood, his work in the KGB, and how he became the president of Russia. This story will help you learn English through real events and real people. Now, let's begin our journey into the world of Vladimir Putin. Part 1. Early Life and Family. Vladimir Putin was born on October 7, 1952, in Leningrad, now called St. Petersburg. His city was very poor after World War II. Many buildings were broken, and food was hard to find. Life was not easy for most families, including Putin's family. Putin was the youngest of 3 sons. Sadly, his 2 older brothers died when they were very young. His father, Vladimir Spiridonovich Putin, was a factory worker and also a war veteran. His mother, Maria Ivanovna, worked in a simple job to support the family. They lived in a small shared apartment with other families. The rooms were cold, and they had little space. As a child, Putin was very curious. He liked action and mystery. He loved watching spy and detective movies. These films made him dream of becoming a secret agent one day. He wanted to serve his country and do something important. It was a big dream for a small boy from a poor home. At school, Putin was not a perfect student at first. He was sometimes naughty and got into fights. But when he turned 11, things began to change. He understood that he needed to work harder. He started to study more and tried to improve his grades. His teachers noticed that he was very focused when he wanted to be. Sport played a big role in Putin's life. He joined judo classes when he was a teenager. Judo is a type of martial art from Japan. It teaches strength, control, and discipline. Putin trained very often, even in cold weather. Step by step, he became good at it, and later earned a black belt. Judo helped him learn how to control himself and his emotions. Putin also liked to watch people. He learned to stay quiet and notice small details around him. This skill helped him a lot in his future jobs. Many people said that, even as a child, Putin was serious and liked to listen more than talk. He did not show his feelings easily, but he was always thinking and planning. Education was important to Putin. He knew that he must study hard to reach his goals. He read many books, especially about history and politics. When he grew older, he decided to study law at the university. He believed this would help him work in the government or in the Secret Service one day. In his early years, we can see the mix of different sides of Putin, a poor boy from a tough city, a dreamer who loved spy movies, a young athlete who learned self-control, and a student who worked quietly toward his goals. These parts of his early life shaped the leader he would become in the future. Part 2. Journey into the KGB. After finishing school, Vladimir Putin wanted to follow his dream of becoming a secret agent. To do that, he knew he needed a good education. So, he went to Leningrad State University, now called St. Petersburg State University. He studied law, which is the study of rules and government. He wanted to learn how countries and people are controlled by laws. Putin was a serious student. He worked hard and graduated in 1975. In the same year, Vladimir Putin joined the KGB. The KGB was the main secret service agency in the Soviet Union. It was like the CIA in the United States. The KGB had many jobs. Some officers worked to protect the country from enemies. Others watched people inside the country. They looked for anyone who could be a threat to the government. Putin started his KGB career in his hometown. His first job was simple but important. He had to collect information about people and watch their actions. He also learned how to keep secrets and write reports. These tasks helped him become more careful and patient. Putin stayed quiet and never shared what he knew with others outside the KGB. In 1985, Putin got a special assignment. He was sent to Dresden, a city in East Germany. At that time, East Germany was under Soviet control. Putin worked at a small KGB office there. His job was to watch other countries and learn what they were planning. He also helped to find new people who could give information to the KGB. Life in Dresden was different from life in Russia. Putin learned to speak German. He lived with his wife, Lyudmila, and they had their first daughter while in Germany. Even though his job was secret, his daily life looked normal. Still, the political world around him was changing. In 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, and East Germany began to break away from Soviet control. It was a hard time for Putin. He saw people in the street fighting for freedom. He also saw that Soviet power was getting weaker. One story from this time shows Putin's character. When angry crowds came to the KGB office in Dresden, he stood at the door and faced them. He told them the building was protected and they could not enter. But he also said he had no orders from Moscow and the government was not helping. This made him feel very alone and unsure. In 1990, after 5 years, in Germany, Putin returned to Russia. The Soviet Union was falling apart. Many people lost faith in the government. Putin also felt that the KGB was losing its power. But the lessons he learned in the KGB stayed with him. He learned to think carefully, hide his emotions, and make quick decisions. He also saw how fast a strong government can fall if it loses control. Putin decided to leave the KGB in 1991, just before the Soviet Union ended. He wanted to use his skills in a new way. His time in the KGB helped shape his thinking. He believed in strong control, careful planning, and loyalty to the state. These ideas would one day help him rise to the top of Russia. Part 3: The Road to Power. When Vladimir Putin returned to Russia in 1990, the Soviet Union was changing fast. People were unhappy, and the old system was falling apart. Putin needed a new job. So, he started working at Leningrad State University, where he had studied before. His job was to help with foreign relations, but he did not stay there for long. Soon, Putin met Anatoly Sobchak. Sobchak was a popular and smart politician. He became the mayor of St. Petersburg. Putin started working for him in the city government. He was in charge of foreign business and trade. Putin was quiet, but he did his job well. Sobchak liked his work and trusted him. This was Putin's first step into politics. Working in St. Petersburg gave Putin experience and new contacts. He learned how cities are managed and how to solve problems. He also made friends in the business and political world. But in 1996, Sobchak lost an election and left his position. Putin also left his job in the city. He moved to Moscow, where bigger opportunities were waiting. In Moscow, Putin joined the government of Boris Yeltsin, the president of Russia. He first worked in a department that handled property of the government. He was not famous yet, but people noticed his discipline and loyalty. Step by step, Putin was given more important jobs. In 1998, Putin became the head of the FSB. The FSB is the main security agency in Russia and was the successor of the KGB. This was a powerful position, and it made Putin an important person in the government. He knew how to work with secret information and how to keep control. Putin also became a close advisor to President Yeltsin. The president respected him and often asked for his opinion. Yeltsin was not in good health, and many Russians did not trust him anymore. The country needed a new leader, and Yeltsin began to look for someone to replace him. He wanted a person who was loyal, strong, and experienced. In August 1999, Yeltsin made a big decision. He chose Vladimir Putin to be the Prime Minister of Russia. Not many people knew who Putin was at that time, but Yeltsin believed he could lead the country. As Prime Minister, Putin worked quickly. He took strong actions during the war in Chechnya. Many Russians saw him as a tough leader who could bring order. Then, on December 31st, 1999, Boris Yeltsin made a surprising announcement. He said he would resign as president. That meant Putin, as prime minister, became the acting president of Russia. In his first speech as leader, Putin promised to protect the country and keep it strong. Many people were not sure about Putin at first, but his calm voice direct words, and strong attitude made him popular. He seemed young, smart, and ready to lead. In the year 2000, Putin ran for president in the elections. He won with more than 50% of the vote. Vladimir Putin had completed his journey from a spy in the KGB to the president of Russia in less than 10 years. His rise to power was fast, and it showed his skills in politics, discipline, and making strong connections. Part 4: First Presidency and Reforms. Vladimir Putin won the presidential election in 2000. It was a big moment for Russia. The country had many problems in the 1990s. The economy was weak. Many people were poor. There was crime and chaos. Putin wanted to fix these problems. He worked hard to make the economy stronger. One reason for the growth was the rising oil prices. Russia sold a lot of oil. This helped the country make more money. The GDP began to grow every year. People started to feel more hopeful. Putin also wanted to control the rich men in Russia. These men were called oligarchs. They had too much power in the 1990s. Putin told them they had to follow the law. Some listened, some did not. The ones who did not listen lost their money or had to leave Russia. Putin brought back symbols from the Soviet era. He used the old Soviet national anthem, but with new words. He also brought back the Red Star for the army. Many people felt proud again. They saw Putin as a strong leader who loved his country. However, problems started to grow with the West. Europe and America did not agree with some of Putin's actions. They were worried about his control over the media and politics. They did not like how he treated the oligarchs. The trust between Russia and the West began to break. One big test for Putin was the Kursk submarine disaster in 2000. The submarine sank in the Barents Sea. All 118 sailors on board died. At first, Putin did not speak much about the accident. People were sad and angry. They thought the government was too slow to act. Putin later tried to explain his actions. He said he did not want to give false hope. But many people did not accept the answer. It was a difficult moment for him as a new president. Still, Putin kept working. He said Russia needed a strong leader. He wanted to make Russia respected in the world again. Many Russians agreed with him. They liked his simple way of speaking. They liked that he was calm and confident. During his first term, Russia's economy grew, and life became better for many people. But at the same time, Putin started to get more power. He changed how governors were chosen. He made sure no one could easily stand against him. Some people were worried. They asked if Russia was becoming less free. By the end of his first term, Putin was very popular. Many Russians felt life was better than in the 1990s. They believed he saved Russia from falling apart. But others saw the start of a new, stronger, and more controlling government. Even in these early years, it was clear Vladimir Putin was not just another leader. He was shaping a new path for Russia, one that would change the future for many years to come. Part 5. Controversial Policies and Global Image. During his time as president, Vladimir Putin made many strong policies. Some of these policies caused a lot of debate in Russia and around the world. One of the most controversial policies was against the LGBTQ+ community. In 2013, Putin signed a law that banned gay propaganda. It stopped people from talking about LGBTQ+ rights in public. Many people in the world said this law was unfair. They said it was against human rights. But Putin said he wanted to protect children and traditional values. Putin also controlled the media in Russia. Many TV channels and newspapers were not free to say what they wanted. If someone spoke against the government, they could lose their job. Some journalists were even attacked. People in the West said this showed that Russia was not a free country. There were also accusations that Putin was becoming a dictator. He stayed in power for many years. He changed rules so he could stay even longer. Some people said he did not allow real elections. Others said he used fear to control people. One famous case was the arrest of Mikhail Khodorkovsky. He was one of the richest men in Russia. He owned a big oil company. He also spoke against Putin. In 2003, he was arrested for fraud and tax crimes. Many people believed the case was political. They thought Putin wanted to punish him for not following the rules. Khodorkovsky went to prison for 10 years. This showed that Putin could remove powerful people if they did not obey. Putin's relationship with the West also got worse. Russia did not agree with NATO, the military group, led by the United States. Putin said NATO was getting too close to Russia's borders. He said this was a threat. Western leaders said Putin was too aggressive. They did not trust him. The Cold War had ended, but the bad feelings seemed to return. Even with all these problems, Putin's power and image were strong. In 2007, the famous Time magazine chose him as Person of the Year. The magazine said Putin brought stability to Russia. It said he made Russia strong again after the hard times of the 1990s. But it also said Putin did this with fear and control. Time called him the new Tsar of Russia. Many Russians liked Putin because they felt safe and proud. They saw him as a leader who stood up to the West and protected Russia. But many others, especially in other countries, saw him as a danger. They said he did not respect human rights or democracy. Putin's image is complex. To some, he is a hero. To others, he is a threat. But there is no doubt his actions and policies have changed Russia and the world in a big way. Part 6. Putin and Modern Russia. After serving 2 terms as president, Vladimir Putin became president again in 2012. This was his third term. Many people in Russia were surprised. They said, one person should not have so much power. But Putin said he needed to protect the country. In 2018, he was elected again, starting his fourth term. One of the biggest events during Putin's third term was the annexation of Crimea in 2014. Crimea was a part of Ukraine, but Russia sent soldiers there and took control. Many people in Crimea spoke Russian, and they voted to join Russia. Putin said he was protecting Russian people, but many countries in the world said he broke international law. They gave Russia economic sanctions. This made life in Russia harder. Another big issue was the 2016 United States election. Russia was accused of using the internet to influence the election. American leaders said Russia hacked emails and spread fake news. They said Russia wanted Donald Trump to win. Putin denied this. He said Russia did not change anything. But many people believed Russia wanted more power in world politics. The most serious event came in 2022. On February 24th, Putin sent the Russian army to invade Ukraine. He said he wanted to protect Russian speakers and stop NATO from growing. But Ukraine and many other countries said it was a war without reason. Russia took control of parts of eastern Ukraine and made them part of Russia. This created a huge crisis. Many people died or lost their homes. The world reacted strongly. Many leaders said Putin was dangerous and must be stopped. Under Putin, Russia has become more stable in some ways. The economy is stronger than in the 1990s. Many people have jobs and basic needs, but there is less freedom. Opposition leaders are often arrested. Protests are stopped quickly. Many people are afraid to speak against the government. Putin's image today is powerful and mysterious. He often shows himself as strong. He rides horses, plays sports, and goes into nature. He wants people to see him as a leader who protects Russia. But many people in the world see him differently. They say he is controlling, secretive, and dangerous. The future of Russia under Putin is not clear. He has changed the law so he can stay in power until 2036. Some people think he will never step down. Others think Russia will need new leadership one day. Putin's legacy is already very big. He has changed Russia and the world. Whatever happens next, Putin will be remembered as one of the most important and controversial leaders of the 21st century.